Segment 1, Iran and Israel, the world's most explosive frenemies. Welcome to Klepper's Corner, the only show where you can laugh while slowly realizing that World War III might be trending on Twitter tomorrow morning. Tonight, Israel and Iran, a saga so full of drama, betrayal, and explosive personalities, it makes Bravo's Real Housewives look like a Quaker meeting. Let's start with a little context. Historically, Iran and Israel have kept their beef to the shadows, like spy versus spy with nukes. But now, it's front-page, high-octane military strike realness. Think of it like your neighbors going from cold glares across the driveway to full-on Molotov cocktail dodgeball. Israel kicked off the summer blockbuster with Operation Rising Lion, a name that sounds less like a military campaign and more like a CrossFit class. They struck nuclear facilities at Natanz and Isfahan, and bonus round, took out a who's who of Iran's military brass. That's not a warning shot. That's sending engraved invitations to retaliation. Segment 2, Iran's nuclear plan. Peace enriched with drama. Iran swears its nuclear program is peaceful. And by peaceful, they mean enriching uranium to 60%. That's like claiming you're just making spicy soup while throwing jalapenos and ghost peppers into the blender with the lid off. The International Atomic Energy Agency, or as Iran calls it, America's tattletale, is not thrilled. After 20 years, they issued their first official censure. Iran responded with a big old diplomatic middle finger, saying the IAEA is a tool. Yeah, well, when the tool detects radiation in your basement, maybe it's not just snitching. Iran's got enough enriched uranium to build 21 bombs in 5 months. That's not a program. That's a Costco-sized starter pack for nuclear winter. Segment 3, Operation Rising Lion, the cat pounced. So what did Israel do with that intelligence? Well, in true Netanyahu fashion, they pounced like a lion on Red Bull. They launched an air campaign that hit Iranian nuclear sites and vaporized key members of Iran's military command structure. It's a bold move, like playing Jenga with C4. Sure, you removed the top piece, but you might have also just brought the whole tower crashing down on everyone within a 1,000-mile radius. Iran fired back over 100 drones and missiles. Think Amazon Prime, but for vengeance. Cities went into lockdown, and Israel's Iron Dome got a workout that would make CrossFit jealous. Segment 4, Gaza, the collateral catastrophe. And just when you think this couldn't get any more unstable, we go to Gaza. Yes, Gaza, where being alive is an extreme sport, and basic necessities are harder to find than a ceasefire agreement that lasts more than 2 hours. Over 55,000 Palestinians dead, most of them women and children. Hospitals bombed. Aid convoys blocked. Water contaminated. It's less a war zone and more a never-ending humanitarian apocalypse. And just in case that wasn't enough, Israeli drones have allegedly hit people waiting for aid. Because nothing says hearts and minds like airstrikes on a bread line. Segment 5, Iran's internal dumpster fire. Iran's economy is circling the drain. Inflation is over 30%. The rial is worth less than monopoly money soaked in tears. Power outages are so common, people are charging their phones using potatoes if they can afford them. And politically, it's a mess. Elections are more rigged than a carnival claw machine. Reformists get disqualified faster than you can say guardian council. So, how do you distract a starving, angry populace? That's right, foreign aggression. Nothing silences dissent like a well-timed war. Or, banning satellite dishes. Segment 6, Israel's budget black hole. Over in Israel, things aren't exactly a utopia either. Their defense budget just ballooned to over 6.5% of GDP. That's the economic equivalent of buying a gold-plated fire extinguisher for a bonfire you started. And how are they paying for it? Well, taxes are up, public sector wages are frozen, and income tax cuts are on ice. Meanwhile, the Bank of Israel is screaming into a spreadsheet going, this is not sustainable. Support for Netanyahu wobbling like a shopping cart with a broken wheel. Even Benny Gantz pieced out of the war cabinet like, call me when you have an actual plan. Segment 7, global fallout and the axis of aggressors. Let's zoom out. This isn't just a regional problem anymore. With Iran and Israel flinging missiles, oil prices are threatening to go full Mad Max. The Strait of Hormuz might become the world's most dangerous water park slide. And who's lining up on either side? We've got the classic East-West showdown, the U.S. and Europe backing Israel, some more reluctantly than others. Meanwhile, Iran gets a warm hug from China, Russia, and, wait for it, Burkina Faso. Because why not? This is less World War III and more Marvel Civil War Energy Edition. Segment 8, broken diplomacy, broken region. Diplomacy? Dead. France canceled their big UN conference on a two-state solution. China quietly ghosted mediation efforts. Even the UN is basically just screaming into the void at this point. When you've got fighter jets patrolling the skies, destroyers in the Med, and every politician too scared to blink, you're not on the path to peace. You're on the edge of the military-industrial Grand Canyon. Segment 9. Conclusion. Boom, repeat, collapse. Thoughtful. So here we are. Israel and Iran locked in a toxic relationship where both think the only way to protect themselves is to hit first and harder. It's less deterrence and more mutually assured dysfunction. Every move is escalating, every death counts for nothing, and the biggest losers are always the civilians, whether in Tel Aviv, Tehran, or Gaza City. Unless there's a major diplomatic shift, a pause, a reset button, or a miracle, we're headed for more destruction, more chaos, and fewer options for peace. But hey, on the bright side, oil futures are booming. So if you're lucky enough to live far away and rich enough to invest in misery, it's going to be a great year. For the rest of us, hold tight. Or maybe buy a bunker, just in case.